Okay, welcome to lesson 8.5, Interpret Division with Fractions. Our essential question is, how can you use diagrams, which are a lot like models, equations, which is like a multiplication sentence or a division sentence, and story problems, so word problems, to interpret division. So we're going to actually be looking at a lot of the things that we've already learned. There is a little bit of new to add at the end, but a lot of it's going to look like stuff we've already seen. So let's take a look. Okay, example number 1. Elisa has 6 cups of raisins. She divides the raisins into 1/4 cup servings. How many servings does she have? So with all word problems, we like to circle our numbers. We got 6 and 1/4. Underline our question. How many servings does she have? And then we want to box our keyword. And this keyword is very, very nice for us because it tells us the operation right away. So we're going to divide. And what are we going to divide? So remember, we always ask ourselves, what is being divided? Okay, is it the 6 cups of raisins that she's dividing into smaller pieces? Or is it the 1/4 cup serving that she's dividing into smaller pieces? It has to be the 6 cups of raisins. So she has a large amount of raisins and she's dividing those 6 cups into smaller servings. So that means that the 6 will be first in our division problem, and we are solving 6 divided by 1/4. Okay, so our essential question mentioned diagrams. So diagrams are a lot like models. So remember when we started models, the first number that we have in our division problem is a whole number. So we're going to draw 6 holes. And then division or cut or share, we're going to divide up these 6 holes into 1/4. So through every single hole, I'm going to put 3 lines in to make it fourths for all of them. And then to find my answer, I'm going to figure out how many servings she made. So how many 1/4 size servings was made out of the 6 holes? Well, we have 4 in this one, another 4 in this one, so that would be 8 now. Another 4 would be 12, another 4 would be 16, another 4 would be 20, and then 24. 24 is our answer. We have 24 servings made out of the 6 cups of raisins. So this is how we would solve it with models. This is taking us all the way back to the beginning of the chapter. You want to make sure you understand how to do it with models. The other way to solve division problems would be using the method that we learned in lesson 4, KCF. So here's another example using KCF. This one says, I made a mistake. This one says 4 friends, but I meant the number 4. So F-O-U-R. Whoops. Okay, 4 friends share 1/4 of a gallon of orange juice. What fraction of a gallon of juice does each friend get? Okay, it's a word problem, so we want to circle our numbers. I see a number right here. And then my other number is hidden. It's actually the number that I had to fix at the very beginning. So 4. 4 is a number written in word form, but it is a number. There's our other number. Underline the question. What fraction of a gallon of juice does each friend get? What's really cool about this question is it's telling us what kind of answer we're going to have. Our answer is going to be a fraction. What fraction of a gallon of juice does each friend get? So whatever we do with these 2 numbers that I've circled, we're going to end up with a fraction answer. So that's nice for them. And then what about a keyword? A keyword. I see the word share. Share is it's a keyword for divide. Okay, we know our 2 numbers, and we know the keyword tells us we're going to divide these 2 numbers. But which number goes first? Well, we need to ask ourselves, what is being shared? What is being split up? What is being cut? Are we sharing the friends or are we sharing the orange juice? Because it's 4 friends and 1/4 gallon of orange juice. It's the orange juice. So since we're sharing the orange juice, 1/4 will go first, and we're going to divide that 1/4 of juice. We're going to divide it and split it up among 4 friends. So here's our problem. Okay, we're not going to use a model this time. We're going to use KCF. So following those steps, we want to keep the 1/4. Keep, K stands for keep. Keep the 1/4 exactly the same. C stands for change. We're going to change this division problem into a multiplication problem. And then F stands for flip. We're going to flip this whole number, because remember, a whole number can have a 1 underneath it. We're going to flip the whole number into a fraction, and it is now 1/4 also. And here's our new problem. 1/4 times 1/4. We solve across, and we get 1/16. Our answer to the question, what fraction of a gallon of juice does each friend get? Each friend will get 1/16 gallon of juice. Okay, so there's the other method that we learned. The last method to explore is to be writing our own story problems. Okay, so the lesson 5 focuses on story problems very much. You're going to see story problems in your practice that you need to solve, but it's also going to ask you to write your own story problems. So to do that, we're going to look at these 3 problems. We're going to focus on the first one, 4 divided by 1/3 first. Okay, all we have is a number problem. I need to write my own story problem. The most important thing about solving these or writing your problems for these is to focus on that first number, okay? This is the number that needs to be cut. This is the number that needs to be shared and split up. So I might have 4 apples. I might have 4 cakes. I might have 4 yards of ribbon. And I need to cut whatever it is I write about, if it's cakes or ribbon or apples, I need to cut them into 1/3 size pieces, okay? So this starting number is always whatever it is that's being cut up. Just like when we are reading the story problem and we're trying to solve it, we have to think about what's being cut up. Well, when we're writing our own story problems, we have to have that first number be the thing that's being cut up. So for this one, I could write about 4 of something being split up into thirds. So I'm going to put Jill, I'm going to make up a name, had 4, I'm going to put pies, yum, yum, pies, and divides. She's going to cut them up. She's going to divide them up. She cut them into 1/3 size pieces. And there's my story problem. And there we go. So she had 4 pies. She cut them into 1/3 size pieces. And that is exactly what my problem shows. And there's my answer. So my answer is writing my story problem. You have to make sure that the correct number, the first number in the division sentence, is the item that's being cut, the item that's being split. Okay, let's look at one more. So this middle one here is showing 1/2 divided by 5. So whatever is first, this 1/2 number, this is what's being split up. So I might have half of a pie. I might have half of a yard of ribbon. I might have half of a gallon of juice, like in the last problem. But whatever it is, I only have half to start. That's my first number. So I'm starting with only half. And this time I'm going to split it up. I'm not going to split it up into 5 size pieces. I'm going to split it up with I'm going to make 5 pieces. I'm going to cut it into 5 pieces. Maybe I have 5 friends I want to hand it out to, or maybe myself and 4 friends or something like that. I can be kind of tricky, but we're going to all share this 1/2 of something. Okay. So your story problem can be different for everybody. Just make sure that your 1/2 is what you are starting with. It's whatever you are splitting up and cutting and dividing and sharing. So let's see. I'm going to put, there was 1/2 of a pizza left over. Okay, there's my 1/2. I'm talking about the 1/2 being pizza. So we're probably going to cut this pizza. We're going to cut this 1/2 of pizza, and I need to cut it into 5 pieces. So that could be, it was cut into 5 pieces. We'll just put that. It was cut into 5 pieces. And there's our word problem for 1/2 divided by 5. Okay, this last word problem is 1/3 divided by 4. And that one is actually for you to solve. So I want you to try that one on your own. Remember, the 1/3 is the first number. So you want to start with 1/3 of something. This 1/3 of whatever it is you want to call it. 1/3 of a cake, 1/3 of a chocolate bar. You are going to then cut it or share it between 4 things. Or maybe you're sharing it with 4 friends, or maybe you're cutting it into 4 pieces. But you want it to always be this first number being whatever it is that you are cutting or splitting or sharing. All right, that is division with fractions and whole numbers, writing your own story problems. Have fun.